Processing sales in Indica POS is simple, intuitive process with a wide spectrum of features specifically tailored for cannabis retail operations. There are three types of sales that can be processed in IndicaOnline: walk-in, pickup, and delivery. Each of them is created using the cart menu. There are different ways to get there, but the cart functionality itself is identical for all of them. At the very top of the cart screen, you'll see a search bar that allows you to search products by name, UID, UPC, SKU, tag, or brand. To the left of that bar, you'll see a barcode icon that allows you to add products to the cart simply by scanning their barcode either with your device's camera or a dedicated barcode scanner. Keep in mind that for Metrc integrated accounts, scanning product barcodes would be both the most convenient and compliant option. Next to the search bar, you'll see the last sync time and refresh button. If you can't see a product that you're looking for or simply want to remain up to date, you can resync it manually. There's an order type toggle next to the sync button that allows you to pick between walk-in, pickup, and delivery orders. Keep in mind that the latter is only available if the order is attached to a customer or patient profile. If you started a walk-in order and would like to add a customer or patient to the order, you can do so by tapping the Add Customer or Patient button right underneath the order type toggle. It'll bring up a drop-down menu complete with a search bar and a barcode icon. Tapping the barcode icon allows you to scan the person's document to easily locate them. Alternatively, you can simply find them on the list and tap on their profile to add them. An order started from the customer or patient profile, or by checking them in, will already have that customer assigned to the cart. Keep in mind that once a customer or patient is added to the order, they cannot be removed or replaced, so if you choose the wrong profile, you'll have to remake the cart from scratch. Once a profile is added to the cart, you'll be able to see their name, photo, and Sweetie credits. Tapping the arrow on the right side of their name will take you to their profile. Underneath the customer profile, you can leave an order note, check their order history, see whether or not they're currently being processed at a different register, and add a customer note. Below the notes section, you'll see the order subtotal, discounts, a total of all item and cart discounts, item discounts, promo codes, you can tap on it to add one, the delivery charge, taxes, and the total. And finally, you'll see the charge button that allows you to finalize the order. If you pay close attention, you'll see the order ID under the charge button. On the left side of the screen, you'll be able to select between indica, sativa, hybrid, and CBD strains. Right below the strain section, you'll see the product categories. Each category has a corresponding color and icon so you can easily distinguish between them. If you'd like to customize the colors and add a description for a certain category, you can do so by navigating to Config, Inventory, Product Categories. You can tap and hold a product category to move it up or down the list. This gives you a high degree of customization and allows you to place the most commonly used categories at the top for easy access. Each selected category will display products that fall under it. Each product within a category will display its name, whether or not it has Metrc or package control enabled. It will display the corresponding icon for each, the item amount either in grams or units, and the first letter of the subcategory that they belong to in the top right corner of the tile. Above the item list, on the left side, you'll be able to select how they're sorted either by name but in stock comes first, and quantity. The quantity selector has an additional button next to it that allows you to filter the list by the lowest or highest quantity. The $ icon next to it allows you to switch to a different product view that displays pre-pack and unit prices so you can easily gauge how much the product costs. This view also helps you visualize pricing for unit/weight ranges. Next to the $ icon, you'll notice a dotted progress bar that displays exactly how far along the list you are, as well as the corresponding product category. Tapping the product category name will display its subcategories, and selecting a subcategory will display only the products that fall under it. If you have weight validation enabled, you'll see the corresponding icon to the right of the progress bar, as well as a plaque letting you know that it's enabled at the top of the page. Tapping on a product tile will bring up different menus depending on its measurement type. Unit products will bring up a menu that allows you to specify exactly how many pieces of the item you want to add to the cart. Unit range products will also display a price breakdown. Weight products will have 3 tabs: in jar, in pre-packs, and in pre-rolls. In jar. This tab allows you to select between industry standard quantities, 1 gram, 1/16, 1/8, etc., or specify the weight in grams by tapping the weights field. The amount field allows you to specify an exact dollar amount that the customer wants to pay. The amount of product they get for that amount will be calculated automatically. Keep in mind that the amount might be a few cents more than the specified, since it's not always possible to divide the amount exactly. Specify the desired amount. The Charge As field gives you a higher degree of flexibility in how the product amount is calculated. Let's say that someone wants to buy an ounce of flour, but wants the amount to be split equally between 2 strains. Let's assume that these 2 strains are priced identically. If half an ounce is $160, buying half an ounce of each product will produce a final price of $320, while the price for an ounce might be $300. If a customer notices the difference, they'll most likely be quite upset and form a negative perception of your business. But if we tap on that half ounce and select ounce under the Charge As dropdown, the price will be calculated as 150, half of the 1 ounce price. This way, the customer gets the split quantity without having to overpay. Of course, your prices could be configured in a way that doesn't necessitate this. However, if they are, this is a good way to get out of a tough spot. You'll also see the total amount for the items you're adding, as well as the corresponding tax. You can tap Charge when you're satisfied with the selection you've made. If you want to sell flour from the jar, but don't want to deviate from the industry standard pre-pack weights too much, you can simply tap on the tile closest to the weight you're selling and then charge the weight that appeared in a corresponding line to the output of your scales. For example, when selling 7.1 grams, select the 1/4 ounce option and change the weight to 7.1. You will immediately see that the price will stay similar to 7 grams, and a free record of 0.1 grams will appear in the lower right corner of the sales window. This tab allows you to select quantities that you've already distributed into prepacks, You have the choice between 1 gram, 1/16, 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, and 1 ounce. Each prepack tile will display the number of available prepacks in the top right corner. Once again, you'll be able to view the total for the items and the corresponding tax. Tap Add to Cart when you're ready to proceed. Pre-rolls. This tab simply lets you specify the number of pre-rolls that the customer or patient is purchasing. Weight range products will display the price breakpoints and show you which one is used after weight or amount are entered. If all of this seems a bit too time-consuming, you can simply use an external barcode scanner or the one on your ELO to instantly add all prepackaged goods to the cart. Just scan the item or weight product prepack, and it will automatically appear in the cart. The only exception to this rule is products sold from the jar. Once a barcode for an in-jar product is scanned, you'll still need to specify the quantity that you're adding. If for whatever reason you prefer not to scan products when adding them to the cart, and you're integrated with Metrc or use package control, you should enable manual package selection to ensure that you don't have quantity mix-ups and remain compliant with the state authorities. Simply navigate to Config, Settings, Inventory on Indica Web, and enable the manual package selection setting. Once enabled, each time you select a product in the cart, given that it's either Metrc or package control, you'll see a package selection pop-up that allows you to choose which package it's from. Once the desired products have been added to the cart, you can tap Charge. If the receipt signature setting is enabled under Config, Settings, POS Settings, you'll be prompted to collect it before proceeding to the actual payment. Once the signature has been collected, you'll be transferred to the payment method screen. Here you'll see all the payment methods that are enabled on your account. In order to configure which payment methods are available, navigate to Config, Settings, Payment Methods, and select/deselect the ones you want under the POS selection. If you have regulars that you fully trust, you can also allow them to pay at a later date by enabling the Allow Unpaid Checkout checkbox on the same screen. If all payment options are enabled, you'll have a choice between cash, check, CC terminal, store credit, available when the Use Store Credit as Discount Only setting is off, Sweetie Credit, or DC Terminal. If you choose cash, you'll be prompted to enter the amount given to you since customers rarely carry amounts like $142.56. You have a bunch of common denominations underneath, example 145, 150, and $160. If you tap on one of these followed by Complete Order, the system will show you exactly how much change should be given back to the customer or patient. If the customer or patient doesn't have enough to cover the order with a single payment method, another payment method can be used alongside it to cover the whole transaction. In our scenario, let's say that the customer doesn't have enough cash to cover the whole amount. The remaining amount is specified next to the payment amount in red for extra visual distinction. You can tap the Add Payment button, which allows you to add an additional payment method by which they can add the missing amount. If you have unpaid checkout enabled and the customer doesn't have enough money to cover the whole order, you can tap the Mark as Paid button to accept a partial payment. These orders will show up with an orange $ icon under the payment section of the orders page and can be easily paid for if you open the order and tap on Take Payment. Keep in mind, however, that partially paid orders cannot be registered in Metrc and will only be sent after the full payment is received. After you've accepted payment for the order you're processing, you'll be prompted to print a receipt or send one over by email. This step isn't mandatory and can be skipped by tapping Done at the final checkout screen. A receipt can be printed automatically if you enable the Print Receipt After Checkout toggle under Menu, Settings, Receipt and Label on your POS. At this point, you've processed the sale.